All right, let's get into it. Ryan O'Toole podcast. Ryan O'Toole podcast. What is it? June 6th, the D-Day, Operation Overlord. What's it been? 81 years? 81 years since Operation Overlord. The Allied invasion into France. So God bless America. God bless the troops. Happy Belmont Stakes weekend. Happy Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh weekend. All right, Aaron Rodgers is going to sign a one-year deal apparently today. They're saying Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Pittsburgh, which really isn't a surprise. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. Obviously, they let Justin Fields go. The Steelers kind of really, haven't had a quarterback, a stable quarterback position since Roethlisberger, really. They kind of hoped with Russell Wilson. That didn't work out. They brought Fields in. So now they got Aaron Rodgers, okay? How old is Aaron Rodgers? Is he 40 years old, Aaron Rodgers? All right, because he looked it last year. I'll tell you that much right now. Aaron Rodgers, age. He's born in 83, so he's 41. He'll actually be 42 in December of this season. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. My thoughts, okay? First off, let's get vaccine mandate requirements back in the city of Pittsburgh and the state of Pennsylvania. That's that. Secondly, more serious note, I don't think he looked old last year. This, again, like Aaron Rodgers, I keep hearing people talking like, first off, let's start from the Steelers' perspective in this. They've had a rotating door at quarterback, all right? Justin Fields leaves. Russell Wilson leaves. Who'd they have? Mason Rudolph right now at quarterback. They drafted Will Howard. So it's just open right there, right? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be a long-term solution at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they bring him in, and sure, I guess I do it for a year or two, all right? Do it for a year or two. But if they're hoping to catch lightning in a bottle with Aaron Rodgers, I don't see it happening at all. I just don't. I saw a lot of people talking about last year's Jets-Jaguars game. Late in the season, the Jets, I actually watched that game. Why did I watch that? There was like nothing else on late in the season, and I was pulling for Jacksonville to not steal the number one pick from the Patriots. Even though Jacksonville, they ended up getting ahead they ended up trading ahead. But nevertheless, I watched that game, and I heard a lot of people say in the last couple of weeks, and I read a lot of people, there's an article on The Athletic about that, how it looks like Aaron Rodgers still has something in the tank. That was like week 15 or 16, and Jacksonville was trying to lose a game. It was like 75 degrees in Florida. Jacksonville's just out there tanking on the season, and people are somehow I just can't see that, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, which, listen, I can't stand the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they're a great organization, a very good, well-run organization. I just think they're like, you know what, we have 1 year, let's make it look like we're trying. Now, it's going to be really interesting when Aaron Rodgers inevitably misbehaves in the sense of, says something crazy in the media, goes on a rant on Pat McAfee, all right, shows up to Joe Rogan, skips practice again. He obviously missed the OTAs, which is fine. He's 42 years old. They're organized. They're non-mandatory practices and stuff. All that. Totally understand it. But he misses all that. Signs right now. We're in the end of the first week of June. So we have training camp in about a little under a month and a half. That's crazy. Training camp's back. Yeah. Wow. 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Training camp's back. Comes in, I guess he'll learn the playbook quick. Obviously, this has probably already been worked out. They're going to sign to him. Fine. I guess give it a go for a year. All right? Give it a go for a year. Last year, Pittsburgh got beat up in the playoffs by a Baltimore division rival. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see Aaron Rodgers. Now, from the Aaron Rodgers standpoint of this, right? He's practically on Pat McAfee begging for a contract a couple months ago, right? When I'll play for $5 million, $10 million, whatever he said, saying he'll practically play at like a minimal deal. Well, I got news for you, Aaron Rodgers. That's all you're worth right now, all right? You're 41 years old. You haven't looked good. I mean, when's the last time Aaron Rodgers, like, really looked good? You know, like, he played a lot last year, and the Jets won, like, 5 games. You know? And let's call it what it is. Aaron Rodgers has been the quarterback of a team that just hasn't been good. The last year in Green Bay, they missed the playoffs. You know, he obviously gets hurt his first year at the Jets. Second year, he goes to Egypt instead of going to practice. Ends up playing the year. The Jets were really atrocious last year. You know, he gets the coach canned, you know, general manager out, all that nonsense. And now he leaves, all right? Obviously, the Jets weren't going to bring him back. You know, he goes on this fucking, he's whining on Pat, oh, they flew me out there, and all to say they're moving on. And, yeah, dude, the Jets bring in Aaron Glenn, all right? The first-time head coach, defensive coordinator alliance. He comes over there. No one wants to deal with you anymore, Aaron Rodgers. You're not good enough to be dealt with like that. That's why it's going to be interesting in the Mike Tomlin aspect of this. Because, again, you know, Mike Tomlin, kind of a no-nonsense guy. Now, granted, there has been some legendary lunatics in Pittsburgh. Most recently, George Pickens, who unfortunately was traded. It would have been a lot of fun if Pickens and Aaron Rodgers were on the sideline at the same time. You know, just two great lunatics in the NFL, in different regards, though. All right? George Pickens, a.k.a. NFL young boy, wearing his Pooh Shiesty. He's a more obnoxious, loud, in-the-moment type of lunatic. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, he's not going to do it during the game. Great, he will at times, but he's more of, let me stir some shit up on a Wednesday in the middle of the week type drama. You know, both equally effective, but it would have been nice to see them clash heads, so we won't see that. But Aaron Rodgers, he goes on McAfee begging, oh, they flew me out to New Jersey all to say they're not bringing me back. And then he whines about it, all right? He goes on there like anyone's going to feel bad for this guy. Counterpoint, if they would have just called Aaron Rodgers on the telephone and say, hey, we're not bringing you back, make no mistake, Aaron Rodgers would have done the same thing. He would have said, oh, they just called me on the phone. They didn't even bring me in to tell me or, like, give me a thing. Dude, like, you know. So, nevertheless, we got Aaron Rodgers back in the NFL, which it's not like we knew someone was going to sign him. It's not like he wasn't going to not get signed. But is he better than what Justin Fields or Russell Wilson was last year? I think he'll be about the same. You know, I think with 7 teams getting to the playoffs, you know, they'll be a fringe playoff team. The problem with them is they got a tough division. I mean, look at their division. All right, Cleveland, you can make, okay, maybe Cleveland's not going to make a big jump this year, but Cincinnati, who as dysfunctional as they are, it is different as they might look this year. Very good team. And you got Baltimore. So you got Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and now Aaron Rodgers all in the same division. Cold weather, brutal weather, and all 4 of those teams play outdoors. So it'll be good. Patriots actually have the Steelers week 3 at Gillette Stadium. So hopefully the Patriots can kick the shit out of Aaron Rodgers one last time. Who knows? Maybe it'll be multiple times. So Aaron Rodgers back. It's going to be a 1-year deal. Yeah, I don't know. It's just there's so much drama. There's been so much drama with Aaron Rodgers in the last few years where he hasn't been that good. You know, people compare him to Favre and, like, how dramatic he is and stuff. All right, yeah, fine. I'll give you that. But Brett Favre, when he was acting dramatic at this stage of his career, was a better player than Aaron Rodgers is. Make no mistake. Brett Favre brought the Minnesota Vikings to the NFC Championship game. I know, yeah, Aaron Rodgers didn't have fucking Adrian Peterson, yada, yada. You know, keep going. Sidney Rice. Make no mistake, Favre was a better player in 2009 than Rodgers has been the last couple years. All right, enough of that. I don't want to talk about this. NBA Finals last night, okay? Did I watch? I was halfway paying attention in the first half when I saw on the bottom of the screen, it said the Indiana Pacers had 19 turnovers in the first half, and they were only down like 9 or 10 points. I go, 19 turnovers in one half, and they're still in the game. I go, that's crazy right there. That is insane. Ended up watching the fourth quarter pretty closely, all right? I was out socializing with friends go into this place. Obviously, I saw Halliburton. What a shot by him. I mean, the balls Halliburton got to, first off, they defend Alexander great. On the other side, they play good defense, get the rebound, don't call the timeout, go all the way down there. You knew Halliburton was shooting it. You knew Halliburton was shooting it. Fucking knocks back a nice mid-range jump shot, give them a 1-point lead. Left, I think, 0.3 of a second on the clock. Game over. All right? Okay, they throw the ball in. Nothing comes of it. The Pacers take a 1-0 lead. All right? Mind you, Sunday night, they'll probably get killed by like 30. That's just the way the NBA is. I'm calling that right now, actually. You want to know a bet I'll give you for the weekend? Oklahoma City more than 15 points. That's what I got. Killing the Pacers. Now, granted, I want the Pacers to win this series. But goddamn, Halliburton, the ball's on this guy to just keep shooting. You know, as he should. I mean, he's like their star player, or at least one of their star players, him and Siakam. But good Lord, he doesn't hesitate at all. I was yelling to take a timeout. I go, timeout, get a good shot off. No way. Well-coached team, Rick Carlisle, awesome team. I love how just fast they play, Indiana does. And they're super good, and I hope they beat OKC. I hope they can find a way to win 3 more. So we'll see. That'd be huge if they win Sunday, but I just don't see it happening. NBA last night, I think it was supposed to start at 8. I think we got an 8:39 tip-off last night. So about 9 minutes late, which it might have been 8:38. I'll give them 8:38. 8 minutes late, not bad for the NBA. 8 minutes late, everyone's going to be complaining about small market teams. 8:38. All right, they're going to say they start at 8:30, and no one's going to talk about ratings, about how late these games always start, or how many reviews and how long everything takes. You know, they'll just keep saying small market teams. Everyone's a television executive. So good for OKC. I watched Stanley Cup Game 1 the other night. I saw the third period of that. I saw more, actually. I saw the second period there. Phenomenal game. Edmonton took Game 1. Game 2's on tonight, correct? Is Game 2 Stanley Cup schedule? Let's go. The NBA is making us wait. There you go. NHL's doing the right thing. Wednesday, Friday. We're playing every other day out here. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see. Do we get every other day? We got Game 1, Game 2. Game 3 will be Monday. Beautiful. So I guess they'll give them the travel day. Then it's back to every other day. Actually, no, not necessarily the days where they travel. Phenomenal game the other night. The NHL is just so much better than the NBA, and this is coming from somebody who watches way more basketball than hockey. What a great game. I'm happy Edmonton won. I hope they win the Stanley Cup. Usually I kind of like being against the Canadian teams and stuff just because it's fun, but I like Edmonton. So fun to watch. McDavid. They're all just so sick, dude. You know, and I think Edmonton, I was talking about this the other day, I think Edmonton might have at least up there in the conversation for some of the best jerseys in all of sports. Not just hockey, but all of sports. Actually both Edmonton uniforms. But the blue and orange they were wearing the other night in Edmonton was so sick. So sick. Marco Sturm, Boston Bruins Winter Classic legend at Fenway Park. Remember when they played the Flyers and Sturm had that game winner in overtime, right? It was an OT game against the Flyers, who ended up fucking beating us in 2010. As the new head coach of the Boston Bruins. What do I think about it? I have no idea. I hope he does a good job, but we'll see. Just the way the Bruins have fallen in the last few years from what they were 2 seasons ago, that 2023 season, to being just a fucking disgrace this year. And attached to fucking Jeremy Swayman for another 7 years is, I don't know. I hope it all works out for them. I didn't watch any of his press conference yet or any of that nature yet. Haven't really been, you know what I did the last couple days? I'm at home looking for a job and working. The amount of horse racing I've watched this week. I mean, I've just had Fox Sports 2 on or whatever this is constantly. I've just had horse racing on since Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, I've just had horse racing. We're on Friday now. I've been WFH, working from home, and I've just been ripping. I've just been sitting here, just the TV's just been on 6 hours at a time, just watching racing. I'm watching recaps, all right, random people's podcasts. And we got the third leg of the Triple Crown. We got the Belmont Stakes, which, again, we're going to go a mile and a quarter. Saratoga, a few things I don't like, okay? I mean, they got today in the turf, the inner turf today, the Belmont Gold Cup, which is the big race. I'm recording this on Friday. The big turf race today. It's a 2-mile race on the turf. Now, I don't understand how they can have a 2-mile race on the inside of the track, but they can't have a 1.5-mile race on the outside dirt. Can someone explain that to me, please? Can someone explain that to me? Mind you, last year's Belmont Stakes handle, the amount of money that's going to be gambled on this, last year was $151 million. So we'll say it's in that ballpark. You think for the respect and history of the game, they could have put some of that money in there if they needed to make a track adjustment for one day and then fix it. So, other than that, though, you know, I've been enjoying racing, and we might as well just get into the Belmont Stakes, right? Might as well get in the Belmont Stakes right now. We got to watch the weather tomorrow, all right? They're saying it's humid in Saratoga, right? I mean, it's humid as hell in New York right now. Dude, I was with a couple of my buddies last night. They were in town, and they just kept commenting how terrible New York smells when it's warm out, and it does smell awful. But I'm, like, so used to it, I was hardly even smelling it, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get the hell out of town. I need a break from this place. Nevertheless, the humidity is the same in Saratoga right now. Now, the difference between Saratoga and New York City, one of the most beautiful areas in America. If it rains tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to change much, because the Kentucky Derby was sloppy. We had Sovereignty, who's finally coming back, all right, enjoyed his extended break. Sovereignty's been in Saratoga for a month now. I just don't know if it's going to change much if it's sloppy on this. You know, there's a lot of speed in this race. All right, this horse, Crudo, Bobby Flay's horse, very fast horse, Rodriguez. Rodriguez, who won the Wood Memorial. All right, he runs in New York. All right, was going to run in the Kentucky Derby. All right, had a foot problem. All right, hurt his dang foot. All right, was going to run in the Preakness. Hurt his dang foot. Now he's coming up back here. Actually, I got the PPs pulled up right here. Shout out to my Uncle Mark. Let me bust these babies open. Go to photos. I popped a perky at 30. There we go. Here we go. Let me look at Rodriguez here real quick. Now we got this. Got my Rodriguez running out of the third gate right here. Last ran in the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct. 101 by a speed figure. Very good. One easy, brush gate, edged clearly. Fast horse right here, Rodriguez is. Super fast horse right here. He has Into Mischief in him from Authentic. A Bob Baffert trained horse right now. I don't know if, he's going off around 6-1 right now. They got him at 6-1 as of now. He's going to set speed here. The problem is, if this track's sloppy, it usually tends to favor these fast horses. I just don't know. Yeah, Baffert and Mike Smith. Good combo right there, all right, regardless how you feel about them. And I'm actually not too fond on either of them. Right, more so, I'm not too fond on Mike Smith than I am Bob Baffert. This horse, by all counts, he goes to first pretty much he's going to fly up here. He's gonna fly in this race. He's gonna be fast. I look at this horse right now, this race right now. I think it's a 3-horse race. I really do. I think it's between Baeza, Sovereignty, and Journalism. I think they're the 3 best horses. I don't even think it's close. Okay, I know this isn't exactly breaking news here. Okay, the Kentucky Derby winner, the Preakness winner, and then the 3rd place horse in the Kentucky Derby. They're all the 3 best horses, Ryan. Thanks for the well, they are. That's just how it is right now. They're the 3 best 3-year-olds right now. They're coming in here. I don't think Baffert has a trick up his sleeve. I really don't. Now, Journalism right now, he's the favorite right now on the morning line. I think it's going to change. I think this is what I think is going to happen tomorrow as far as betting goes in the Belmont Stakes, okay? 7:04 run tomorrow, by the way. 7:04 post time. What I think is going to happen, I think Sovereignty is going to end up taking over and being the favorite in this race tomorrow, followed by Journalism, then followed by Beza. Okay, right now the morning line has Beza at 4-1. Again, this stuff's going to change tomorrow. Again, if you're not too fond with horse racing, we're talking about pari-mutuel wagering right here. Okay, this doesn't go up and down the same way a basketball game does or a football game does. Okay, it's pooled betting. Okay, you're gambling with the amount of money on this affects it differently than it does, say, baseball or any of that other stuff. Now, we're going to go look at this two ways. If Beza at 4-1 right now. If Beza were to stay at 4-1, that's phenomenal value right there. That is absolutely phenomenal value on Beza. 4-1. If Beza gets to 5-1 and you're betting this race, I don't see how you can't bet on Beza if Beza goes 5-1. The way I can see it if Beza goes 5-1, even if Beza were to get to 9-2, which would be 4.5-1, if Beza could get to 9-2, that's going to be hard to lay off. I think Beza's just as good as a lot of these horses. Sovereignty and Journalism. It's good. If he gets to 5-1, he's going to be very, very hard not to bet. Okay, Beza's phenomenal here. Again, that weather, we got to really pay attention if it's going to be a sloppy track. But he ran really good. Beza the 6-foot with Flavian Pratt, who's an absolute animal, a phenomenal jockey. Flavian Pratt is great jockey. McKinsey, remember old McKinsey, the old street sense horse. I liked McKinsey back in the day. 2016 McKinsey? That's when I was in the action. Beza 4-1, Flavian Pratt. Wow. If Beza gets up to 5-1, I think that's where you got to put your money where your mouth is. That being said, okay, Sovereignty coming back. All right, I thought Sovereignty ran a phenomenal Kentucky Derby. So I'll tell you what Sovereignty wants. Sovereignty wants these horses like Crudo. He wants all these fucking horses to fly, and he's just going to sit there. Now, I thought Sovereignty ran a good Kentucky Derby. All right, he won the Kentucky Derby. You can't take that away from him. There's 20 horses in there. He didn't get caught up in no nonsense, none of that nature. But I thought Sovereignty was very, very smart. In the sense, Sovereignty just stalked. It's a come-from-behind horse right there. Sovereignty just sat there, waited for everyone to do what they wanted. Sovereignty's running out of the 2 gate right here. Alvarado just sits there, lets everyone beat the hell out of each other, and then just turns his horse on when nobody's in his way and he can just make his move. All right, so Sovereignty's waiting for a dogfight tomorrow. Sovereignty wants everyone to go out flying. Okay, and make no mistake, if they go around that first turn and it's fast, this thing's 22-4, 22-5. Sovereignty's gonna love that. Alvarado, they're gonna be drooling right there because that's what happened in the Derby. They go out fast. He just sits there and wait. Journalism, after one of the most incredible come-from-behind wins I've ever seen in any race, let alone a Triple Crown race, with Umberto Rispoli. Shout out Umberto Rispoli. They got something on the screen right here. Bill Martin, Jr. Alvarado right here. That's Sovereignty's connection right here. Sovereignty, they won the Whitney last year. Cody's Wish, of course, in the Breeders' Cup 2 years ago. Pegasus World Cup with Art Collector. Multiple times with Cody's Wish. Cody's Wish won all over the place. Sovereignty, I'm watching it on NBC right now. Just coming from behind over here. This is the thing. This is the Kentucky Derby right here. They're beating the heck out of each other up front. They went too fast in the Kentucky Derby for him. Gets outside. Final turn of the Kentucky Derby. He's already outside. He's running out of the 18 gate. There's no one in front of him. There's no one in his way. He got a clear lane. Turn it on right here. But he gets into a good dogfight with Baeza and Journalism right here. And Journalism, again, Journalism keeps getting into all these goddamn dogfights. Every time Journalism runs, he's in a fight, which is why I like Journalism as a horse. He's super fun to watch. And Sovereignty gets him. Sovereignty gets him right there. Sovereignty, of course, gets his rest, okay, his beauty sleep. Already had cucumbers on his eyes. That's what Godolphin did. They put the cucumbers on his eyes, giving him manicures, this and that. Couldn't show up for the Preakness. Sovereignty, 6 starts, 3 wins, twice in second place. Belmont trained horse. Great looking horse, Sovereignty is. Again, my problem's not with Sovereignty. It's with Godolphin, the way he's trained and the way he's owned. Let's back to the race, all right? Back to the race. Stop getting distracted by the television, Ryan. Okay, this thing comes down to Sovereignty, Baeza, and journalism. That's how I see it. Okay, I don't think this is, it's not the traditional Belmont. If this was a mile and a half, a lot of things would be different. We'd be totally looking at this race different right now if this was a mile and a half. Dramatically different. Okay? All over the place. We'd be looking at this 4-horse right here, uncaged. All right, sired by Curlin. Doc Nile on the other side. The the Belmont always comes down to breeding. When you get these horses that could win at a mile and a half, this 4-horse at a mile and a half wouldn't be 30-1. What do they have right now? We got live updates. What do they have? Baeza still at 4-1 with Flavian Pratt. Journalism 8-5. Sovereignty 2-1. Hill Road, the 1-horse at 10-1. Rodriguez at 6-1. I don't think. See, I can't see Rodriguez. If Rodriguez is going to win this race, I feel like Rodriguez is going to have to go fucking gate to wire. I don't know if he can. I mean, are they going to sit Rodriguez? Is Rodriguez going to take his time and try stalking with journalism and Sovereignty? I see him getting eaten alive if that happens. I really do. Saratoga looks beautiful. I got to get my white ass up. I've been to Saratoga since 2018. I got to get up there. Back to the race. Focus. Okay. We talked about value. Baeza. If Baeza at 4-1, way to go. Okay? Way to go. That being said, we're talking about this. Who do I think's going to win this race? I'm torn here. I'm really torn. Sovereignty ran a phenomenal Kentucky Derby. An amazing Kentucky Derby. As did Baeza. As did journalism. All 3 of those horses ran very, very well in the Derby. All right, Sovereignty wins. Okay, we give it to him. He's the one we'll say he ran a great race. The Preakness. All right, there was no Baeza. Baeza went recovery mode. Sovereignty went recovery mode. Journalism gets into a fucking absolute dogfight. All right, they're beating the shit out of each other all over the place, which is perfectly legal, by the way, and made for a great race. And pulled off one of the most triumphant finishes I have ever seen for a horse. To get asked that as a horse and to just respond. Okay? All credit to Umberto Rispoli. It's like, obviously, people are shitting on him. He shouldn't have put his horse in that position, yada, yada. Okay, he dealt with it as best as he could. That being said, it's one of those things. For a horse to be, and go back and watch the Preakness, to get bumped the way he did, be in traffic like that, and to come out and win the way he did, I mean, the heart of that horse, the balls of that horse, incredible. And that's why officially I am picking here on the Ryan O'Toole podcast my 2025 Belmont Stakes winner. I'm going with journalism. I just think this thing's going to be no different. He's going to turn it into a goddamn dog fight. Even if he doesn't turn it into a fucking rock fight, a dog fight, he's going to get in there. I'm going to go journalism and Baeza. I'm going to go 1-2 with those ones. That's my official play. I know it's chalk, yada, yada, yada. If you want to look to make money, I mean, the more I look at these horses, I can't see. I mean, would you go with Hill Road maybe? But Hill Road at 10-1, I don't like him at 10-1. I don't like Hill Road, the Peter Pan winner. By the way, if you know anything about, reading programs or anything, when you look at a track, for example, November 1st, he raced at Del Mar. It'll say 9, which is the 9th race of the day, and then it'll say DMR, short for Del Mar. They got BAQ, that's Belmont at Aqueduct. Because the Belmont Stakes race, it just put fucking Aqueduct, okay? There's no need for that, all right? We're not, sponsoring anything here. 1.25 miles, the Belmont Stakes presented by Naira Bets, a Grade 1 race. $2 million for 3-year-olds. LASIX not allowed within 48 hours of post time, pursuant to HISA Rule 4212. By subscription is $600 each to accompany the nomination if made on before July 27, 2025, or $6,000 if made on or before Monday, April 7th, 2025. At any time prior to the closing time of the entries, horses may be nominated to the Belmont Stakes upon a payment of supplementary fee of $50,000 to the New York Racing Association, Inc., $15,000 to pass the entry box, and $15,000 additional to start. We're talking big money here. All entrants will be required to pay entry and starting fees, but no fees, supplemental or otherwise, shall be added to the purse. The winner of the 2025 Wood Memorial and top 3 finishes in the 2025 Peter Pan Stakes will have their entry and starting fees waived for the 2025 Belmont Stakes. That's because those are New York races. Presented by New York Racing Association Bets, NYRA Bets. The purse to be divided, $1.2 million to the winner, $360,000 to the second place horse, $200,000 to the third place horse, $100,000 to the fourth place horse, $60,000 to the fifth place horse, $40,000 to the sixth, $20,000 to the seventh, and $20,000 to the last place horse. Colts and geldings, 126 pounds. Fillies, 121 pounds. All Belmont Stakes runners must be, and those are jockey weights, by the way, right there. Those are weights by jockeys. All Belmont Stakes runners must be on the Saratoga grounds by noontime on Wednesday, June 4th. Trophies will be presented to the winning owner, trainer, and groom. Belmont Stakes at 1.25 miles. It'll be interesting to see what that track looks like tomorrow. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with journalism tomorrow. As a fan, I love journalism. I love how they're asking this horse. He's running. He's responded. I'm going with journalism tomorrow. If I couldn't go with... Now, you might be wondering why you're not going with Sovereignty. I think if they keep saying, he comes off to rest. Oh, there goes the camera. Camera just cut out. That's fine. Probably overheated. I think... we're on audio here, okay? I think journalism's just going to... I think actually, you know what? I'm going to pause this. All right, we'll see what we're doing here. I think it's going to come back to bite him. I think Sovereignty's sitting out. I think it's going to come back to bite him. I mean, I know he's been training well, but I like journalism, just fighting and entering in these races. I'm going for journalism. So enjoy the Belmont Stakes. Enjoy the weekend. I'll be back here, I don't know what, Sunday, Monday, something like that. Oh, Tom Thibodeau, by the way, canned by the Knicks. Listen, they were saying all year, fire him, fire him, fire him. They finally fire him. Now there's an uproar. Who gives a shit? Okay, who gives a shit? The Knicks will get somebody else in there. Again, there's going to be more turnover. There's no consistency with that franchise. So there's that. All right, that's the podcast. Thanks for listening. My camera's on fire right now. I'm out of here. Like, share, subscribe, SACCO and VANZETTI, all that stuff in the bio. I'm out of here. Peace out, bitches.